We'll go with you first, Jamie. Manchester United. What's going on?
Well, what isn't going on is more the issue. You know, they say dysfunctional organisations do dysfunctional things, and that just seems to be a theme running through Manchester United. They just keep embarrassing themselves with decisions on and off the pitch. You've got the Greenwood situation. They completely botched that situation. Put together a PR plan where they had domestic abuse charities in the contrary column. And that gets exposed by the press, which is unforgivable to have a kind of plan behind the scenes. And then that comes out. You have Sancho getting called out by Ten Hag, a disaster. Another headline maker during the international break when things are supposed to be pretty quiet, no less, as well. You got Sancho fighting back. You got Ten Hag being overly strict, probably. Other players, James Garner, who left the club recently, saying that Ten Hag is strict. And then Ten Hag not really doing his job very well either on the pitch. Really poor on the pitch again. They have a takeover pending. Not even pending at this point. They said they wanted investment 10 months ago, and they still haven't sorted that out. So United just right now need to stay quiet. They keep trying to make headlines, and they keep completely botching it. Football is one thing. Will they get better under Ten Hag? Time will tell. They've struggled so far again this season. Another poor performance over the weekend. But off the pitch, just stay quiet. You don't need to comment on everything. You don't need to get involved in these situations. Just make good decisions that are not going to come back to bite you. And they just can't resist not doing that at the moment. And that is a crisis on and off the pitch right now.
I couldn't agree more. I think they've made more statements. They've got Premier League wins this season. And I think your comments last week, you did say, Fab, you did say Ten Hag will go. We were kind of on the fence, weren't we? And what's your thoughts on Manchester United?
I think it's a bit worrying that they're getting worse, not better in second season now, Ten Hag. It's not like, last season where they started off really badly, lost at Brighton at home, then Bournemouth, Brentford 4-0 down half time, and you think, okay, he's got a lot to change. It's a new manager, new thing, and you'll get better. And they did get better, and it's been fine kind of end of last season. Home form mainly was keeping them in it, keeping them doing well. And you see the start of this season, you think it's just getting worse. And it's not, I don't really see what's changing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe has he been figured out and not been figured out? You're still playing, don't have a right winger anymore. You're playing Bruno Fernandes out right wing, which kind of negates most of his creativity. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. It's just that it's a bit of a strange situation. I do think the off the field things probably have had an impact onto the on the field play, because it's just making them, there's just a lot of pressure on every game now. I can see it with Chelsea, similar things. Like, there's just so much pressure into any game that any result is just huge. And Man United, there's always pressure. They're the biggest club in England, and any little thing is going to be made bigger than what it is. But they have had a lot of just kind of incidents over the last month or so. They even invited a Peterborough onto the pitch in their women's game, and without realising having to apologise for that, on top of, Sancho, Greenwood, Anthony. It's just a mess.
It's a mess, isn't it? I think you have to look at the owners as well. I know people don't want to talk about the owners, but when you've got Reguilon playing left back, and you had Dalot as an opposing team, when you're, as a Brighton fan, lucky to see it, and you look at that and you think, brilliant. Lindelof, and even Martha's point, and Anana's positioning, you just look at it and think, brilliant, we can get a result here. You've got Eriksen, I think it's McTominay and Casemiro, and Casemiro's not made a great start to the season. Usually in the past he does start slowly, but you look at it, you think, you've got so much faith that you'll get a result, making 6 changes, and Man United never used to be that. I know they've had an amazing home form, and they only lost once at home last season, which again was to Brighton. But maybe is this the season where it all falls apart? Because it definitely feels that early on we can be seeing big changes at Man United. But with that takeover now being estimated at 10 billion, that's what they want. No one's going to pay 10 billion for Manchester United. Not at the moment, not what's going on. So, crisis, you still think Ten Hag is going to go over the end of the season?
Yeah, it's unraveling, isn't it? You look at McTominay and Maguire. They're fringe players they want to get rid of, but he's gone completely upset them. He's mismanaging them. Why not get the best out of them? Or at least try. Are they good enough? I don't know, but they're not going to be now, are they? And that's the kind of management. It's just unraveling. all right. So they got Bayern Munich this week. And if they get hammered it,
Bayern Munich away, followed by Burnley
if they get
away.
hammered it.
I mean, that just says loss, doesn't it? I mean, I saw, I was looking, we've got best bets later, but I looked at Burnley. I can get them 4-1 to beat Man United, I think it was. And they're at home. And if Bayern Munich and Harry Kane just turn it on and really give them a drumming, that is going to be a miserable week, isn't it? So Ten Hag out. Now, we did say we think he'll stay the season. Will Ten Hag stay the season?
Yes, I think he will stay the season, but I think that's just because the way Man United are. I don't think, like, they had Ralph Rangnick in charge for about 8 months of the season 2 years ago, and I think that as long they're still money-making machine, Man United, I think that's all the graders really care about.
Of course, yeah. Ray Ronaldo was right. All those comments he made with the Piers Morgan interview, he said doesn't respect Ten Hag. Said the club aren't winners, not mentality. Maybe he was right all along. So Man United, Ten Hag will go. Ten Hag will stay. I think he'll stay as well. I think you're right. The Glazers will hide behind it, but they're clearly in crisis. And what a miserable start to the season.